La voiture la plus rapide du monde. For over a decade, those words have echoed through garages, dominated magazine covers, and sparked endless debates. In 2026, we're asking it again, but this time, the question carries weight. Because the Bugatti Chiron has officially reached the end of its production run, 500 units, one legendary W16 engine, a machine that pushed physics, engineering, and human ambition past what anyone thought possible. Today, we're not just reviewing a hypercar, we're documenting its final chapter. Is it still the fastest car on Earth? And more importantly, does it matter? Welcome back. If you're new here, we break down the machines that redefine what's possible on four wheels. Hit subscribe, because today's video isn't about specs alone. It's about legacy engineering and the quiet end of an era that will never be repeated. The 2026 context and legacy. The Chiron debuted in 2016 as the spiritual successor to the Veyron. Its mission was simple: make the impossible repeatable. Over the next 10 years, Bugatti didn't just build a car. They built a timeline of speed records, aerodynamic breakthroughs, and handcrafted perfection. But by late 2024, the final Chiron rolled off the assembly line in Molsheim, Alsace. So why are we talking about a 2026 Chiron? Because 2026 is the year the last customer deliveries were completed, final valuations stabilized, and the hypercar officially transitioned from limited production to modern classic. The Chiron you're looking at today isn't a new model. It's the culmination, the final specification, the last expression of a W16 powered road car that will never be manufactured again. As Bugatti shifts focus to the Tourbillon, their naturally aspirated V16 hybrid successor, the Chiron has crossed into automotive legend status, engineering and performance. So what actually lives beneath that carbon fiber clamshell? An 8.0-litre W16 engine, 4 turbochargers, 16 cylinders, 1,500 horsepower in standard trim, climbing to 1,600 in the Super Sport 300 Plus variant. But raw power only tells half the story. The Chiron's real genius lies in how it manages that power. A 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, permanent all-wheel drive, and an active aerodynamic suite that adjusts ride height, rear wing angle, and brake cooling in real time. The result? 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds, 0 to 100 in under 4.5, and a verified top speed of 304.77 miles per hour, set on Volkswagen's EHR Alsatian test track. But here's what most overlook. Speed isn't just about acceleration. It's about stability. At 300 miles per hour, aerodynamic pressure on the Chiron's body equals a Category 2 Hurricane. Bugatti engineered around it with a carbon fiber monocoque, magnesium wheels, and a cooling system that moves over 60,000 litres of air per minute. This isn't a drag strip project. It's a precision instrument built to survive its own velocity. Design and craftsmanship. Step inside and the W16 suddenly fades into the background. Because the Chiron isn't just engineered, it's curated. Every surface is hand-stitched. Every switch is machined from solid aluminum. Every gauge is calibrated to Bugatti's exacting tolerances. The 2026 final customer cars feature bespoke material packages, brushed titanium accents, exposed carbon weave panels, and leather sourced from European tanneries that also supply out horology brands. The steering wheel is lighter, reprofiled for high-speed tactile feedback. The seats provide firm lateral support at 2 grams, yet remain comfortable enough for a 3-hour grand tour. This is where Bugatti's French identity truly shines. It's not German clinical efficiency. It's not Italian theatrical drama. It's Alsatian elegance, quiet confidence, meticulous detail, a philosophy that says luxury and extreme performance don't have to compromise each other. You don't buy a Chiron to be seen, you buy it because you appreciate the thousands of hours of human labor that went into making something so violent, feels so effortless. The speed debate, which brings us back to the title, La voiture la plus rapide du monde. In 2026, the answer is nuanced. By verified, production car record on a public test facility, yes, the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus still holds that crown. But the hypercar landscape has evolved. Koenigsegg, Rimac, Hennessy, and Bugatti's own Tourbillon are redefining performance through hybridization, electric torque vectoring, and active aero. Some manufacturers claim higher simulated top speeds, others prioritize 0 to 60 times, track lap records, or efficiency. But here's the reality: fastest is no longer a single metric, it's a philosophy. The Chiron was built for a specific kind of speed, sustained, stable, street legal, and entirely dependent on internal combustion. It doesn't rely on battery bursts or track-only modifications. It's a complete road-legal package. And in 2026, as global emissions regulations tighten and the internal combustion engine faces its final chapter, that raw, unfiltered W16 raw feels less like a specification and more like a farewell. The 2026 perspective. So where does the Chiron stand today? As a collector's anchor, as an engineering milestone, as the last of its kind. All 500 units are spoken for. Secondary market prices routinely exceed $5 million, with rare variants like the Cento 10 per Sport and Noir crossing $8 million. But beyond valuation, the Chiron's true legacy is how it redefined expectations. It proved you don't have to sacrifice refinement for velocity, that a machine capable of 300 miles per hour can still function as a Grand Tourer, that French artistry and German engineering can coexist without compromise. As Bugatti hands the torch to the Tourbillon in 2026, the Chiron doesn't disappear into history. It becomes the benchmark. The car that forced every future hypercar to ask itself, can we match that? Can we surpass it? Or do we simply honor it? So, is the Bugatti Chiron still the fastest car in the world? By verified record? Yes. By engineering ambition? Absolutely. By emotional resonance? Undeniably. But maybe the real question isn't about speed anymore. It's about what happens when a machine outlives its era. The Chiron wasn't built just to go fast. It was built to be remembered. What's your take? Should Bugatti have extended the W16 as life cycle? Or is the Tourbillon the necessary evolution? Drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell. We're covering the Tourbillon's first real-world drive next week. Until then, keep your eyes forward and your throttle smooth. La Procane.